What if the weakest person in the room became the most powerful being on the planet? Imagine a world where you're ranked as the lowest. An E-class hunter who can't seem to survive even the smallest of threats. Yet fate grants you an unexpected gift. Solo Leveling is the anime that takes this premise and turns it into a thrilling, jaw-dropping journey from zero to hero. If you're a fan of intense action, stunning visuals, and deep lore, then stay tuned because we're recapping the epic journey of Sung Jin-Woo in Solo Leveling, Season 1. Before we dive into this action-packed world, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss an update on your favorite anime. Solo Leveling has quickly become a global phenomenon, and it's not hard to see why. With electrifying fight scenes, dramatic character arcs, and a rich, complex world, this series stands out in the anime universe. Adapted from the incredibly popular South Korean web novel written by Chu Gong, Solo Leveling's Season 1 delivers on all fronts, from intense battles to moments of introspection and emotional growth. At its heart, Solo Leveling is not just a power fantasy. It's a story about self-discovery, sacrifice, and purpose. And if you're looking to dive into a series that leaves you craving more, this is it. So, let's kick off this recap of Season 1 and explore the rise of Sung Jin-Woo, the weakest hunter turned Shadow Monarch. Buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride. We begin in a world where dungeons and portals to other dimensions open up regularly, unleashing monsters onto humanity. To combat these creatures, certain people, called hunters, are given supernatural powers ranked by their strength. Our protagonist, Sung Jin-Woo, is at the very bottom of the food chain. He's an E-class hunter, mocked and dismissed by nearly everyone around him, known as the world's weakest hunter. But everything changes in Episode 1, when Jin-Woo's team embarks on a low-level dungeon raid, which should have been routine, until they stumble upon something far more dangerous, a double dungeon. It's a hidden death trap that none of them saw coming. Statues resembling gods come to life and start slaughtering his team, one by one, in a horrifying massacre. In a twist of fate, Jin-Woo sacrifices himself to save his comrades and dies, or so we think. But instead of death, he's given a second chance. A mysterious system chooses him as a player, granting him the ability to level up. This is where Jin-Woo's story truly begins. From this moment on, his life changes as he embarks on a journey to become the strongest. By Episode 2, we see Jin-Woo grappling with his newfound abilities. Waking up in a hospital bed, confused but alive, he discovers that his body has undergone a massive transformation. What's more, he now sees a system interface, like in a video game, that gives him daily quests, skills, and the opportunity to grow stronger. He's given the chance that no other hunter has, the ability to infinitely level up. From here on, Jin-Woo's journey is all about grinding, facing dungeons and monsters, one after another, to become powerful beyond anyone's wildest imagination. The show wastes no time throwing Jin-Woo into intense situations. He takes on daily quests that, while seemingly mundane at first, have real-life consequences if he fails to complete them. For instance, when he skips a daily quest, he's chased by a giant centipede and nearly loses his life. But with every battle, every quest, Jin-Woo inches closer to becoming something extraordinary. Episode 4 shows us that Sung Jin-Woo is no longer the weakling he once was. Entering an instant dungeon, he faces off against vicious goblins and lichens, wolf-like creatures with terrifying strength. At this point, he's still figuring out his powers and learning how to use them, but the growth is rapid. He slashes through the lichens in an incredible display of newfound strength and agility, a far cry from the timid E-class hunter we met just a few episodes ago. The show brilliantly portrays his transformation, not only in his physical abilities, but also in his mindset. The once cautious, fearful Jin-Woo is now embracing the grind, seeking out stronger enemies to defeat, so he can grow even more powerful. But with great power comes great danger, and not all hunters or guilds are as noble as Jin-Woo. The world of Solo Leveling has its own dark side, full of betrayal and greed. In Episode 6, we see this darkness firsthand when Jin-Woo, is betrayed by a strike team led by Hwang Dong-suk. After being left for dead in a dungeon with his ally Yoo Jin-ho, Jin-Woo must fight his way out, facing off against not only the dungeon boss, but also the hunters who betrayed him. And in one of the season's most jaw-dropping moments, Jin-Woo eliminates them all, showing that he's no longer someone to be underestimated. As Jin-Woo continues to level up, his powers grow more unique and terrifying. Episode 11 marks a pivotal moment in his journey, his introduction to the power of the Shadow Monarch. After defeating the fearsome knight, Igris, in a dungeon raid, Jin-Woo unlocks the ability to summon the shadows of fallen enemies. This marks his ascent into a new class, Necromancer, and sets the stage for his evolution into the Shadow Monarch. With the ability to command an army of shadows, Jin-Woo's strength is now on a whole different level. The once weakest hunter now commands the dead and is quickly becoming one of the most feared and powerful beings in the world. What makes solo leveling stand out isn't just the thrilling battles and incredible animation, but the deeper themes it explores. Sung Jin-Woo's journey is one of perseverance, a struggle to overcome not just external enemies, but his own insecurities and self-doubt. It's a story of survival and the thirst for power, but not for selfish reasons. Jin-Woo fights to protect those he loves and to carve out a place for himself in a world that had written him off. The show also delves into the concept of hierarchy, whether it's in the form of hunter rankings or guilds, and how power can corrupt or elevate individuals. It's fascinating to see Jin-Woo navigate this complex system, sometimes bending the rules, but always driven by a desire to become better. The season finale, episode 12, is nothing short of breathtaking. Jin-Woo, now wielding the power of the Shadow Monarch. The stakes are higher than ever as Jin-Woo battles through an army of knights and mages, his strength pushed to the absolute limit. Every fight scene is meticulously animated, and the tension is palpable as Jin-Woo faces his toughest challenge yet. But this isn't just about fighting. We see Jin-Woo's character truly evolve in these final moments. His determination, his willpower, and his relentless drive to succeed all come to a head. The season ends with Jin-Woo emerging victorious, but the journey is far from over. With his shadow army now under his command, Jin-Woo has only begun to scratch the surface of his potential. And that, my fellow anime lovers, is the incredible first season of solo leveling. From the weakest hunter to the Shadow Monarch, Sung Jin-Woo's journey is filled with ups, downs, and more action than you can handle. Season 1 has set the stage for even more epic battles and jaw-dropping moments in the future. And I, for one, can't wait to see what's next. If you love this recap, make sure to smash that like button and leave a comment with your favorite moment from Season 1. Are you ready for Season 2? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more anime recaps, deep dives, and reviews. Stay tuned, and remember, power is only the beginning. See you next time.